Oh boy, I am excited for this Tuesday because you've got Liverpool versus Real Madrid in the Champions League. And I think there's only one player I want to talk about right now. You've got Erling Haaland flying. You've got obviously Harry Kane flying. But you have got Kylian Mbappe flying for Real Madrid. And he's coming to Anfield to cause Van Dijk problems. Now, will he cause Van Dijk problems? We don't know. We wait to find out with the excitement of the Champions League at Anfield. However, what I can say is right now, Kylian Mbappe is an absolute demon. He is a man on fire. 2 goals again on the weekend against Valencia in La Liga. And you're looking at him right now, 11 games, 13 goals, 2 assists. And that is just in the league. The Champions League, 3 games, 5 goals, 18 goals for Real Madrid so far this season. And if you want to include the Super Copa, you know what I mean? You could say another goal. If you want to include, what he's doing for France, you could say more goals. But right now, for Real Madrid, he is a man on fire. And do you know what? It's funny because when he left, obviously PSG, the big thing for him was to go to Real Madrid and win the Champions League. And of course, they won the Champions League before he arrived. And then PSG go and win the Champions League last season, which literally just sums up football. Your best and biggest player leaves to go to Real Madrid, and all of a sudden, PSG become a team. Luis Enrique gets what he wants, and the team click, and they were unbelievable last year, PSG. Let's give them their respect. They're one of my favorite teams. I love watching them. Vitinha, Yao Neves, Nuno Mendes. They've got quality, and they won the treble last season. And Mbappe must have been thinking, typical, I leave the football club and this happens. However, he could have made little comments or little digs. This is human life. This is what people do. But no, do you know what I love about Mbappe so far this season and even over the summer? He's just said, yeah, do you know what? They've done what they've done. I'm going to now back myself. I'm now going to use that as motivation. I'm going to use that as my trigger to step into this Real Madrid team under the new coach, Xabi Alonso, and start delivering. Start showing Florentino Perez why you spent that money to bring me here. Because I believe I'm the best player in the world. Yes, you've got Lamine Yamal who's stepping up and doing this thing. Yeah, you got Dembele who won the Ballon d'Or. You got Harry Kane doing this thing. You got Mohamed Salah from last season. But no, Mbappe believes that he's the best player in the world. And this season, he is showing it. You've got to think about it as well. It's a World Cup year. There's no better time for Mbappe, Haaland, Kane, and all these guys to start doing their thing before they go into that World Cup in America and Mexico and Canada in the summer. Because the way he's going and the team he's at right now in Real Madrid, I'm thinking Mbappe for Ballon d'Or next year is going to be something of a priority. Of course, you're going to have Lamine Yamal competing with him because Spain are going to be there. Barcelona are going for the Champions League and La Liga as well. I feel like this could be an Mbappe versus Yamal 25/26. That's how it's shaping up to be. But right now, Mbappe is just a demon. And I think what's so interesting about him is, like I said, firstly, the mentality. I love that with Mbappe because he is showing that, I am the guy for Real Madrid. Yes, you've got Vinicius, your Rodrigos and Bellingham, but I'm the guy who's going to stand out and be the tier one, and you guys can be tier 1B. Do you know what I mean? You guys are still tier 1, but you're below me, and I'm making that clear. And I think what he's doing is actually he's scoring in so many games and the volume and big games as well, included in the El Clasico, is that he is just, becoming a big game player. He always has been a big game player, actually. That's one thing I rate about Mbappe over a lot of people. I think a lot of players can score goals and do their thing. When it comes to big games, can you stand up and be counted for then? That's why I always question Harry Kane. That's me personally, when it comes to the big games for England and whatnot. But Mbappe, he stands up and be counted for. He loves a big game. He thrives under pressure. And that's why I think he is one of the best, if not one, the best player in the world, because he just loves the occasion. Big games, small games. He wants to score goals. He wants to contribute. And I think his mentality so far, what he's doing and producing at Real Madrid, means that everyone has to raise their levels. Because if you've got someone like Mbappe scoring this many goals and you're not winning games and you're not stepping up, he is going to call you out. He is going to voice his concerns. He's going to voice his issues. And yes, it might cause some unrest in the team, like we saw at PSG, where people said he had an ego and he thought he was this and he thought he was that. Cool. That's then. This is now. He's at Real Madrid. Sometimes you need egos at Real Madrid. You're at the biggest club in the world. You've got Ronaldo that's been there. You've had David Beckham. You've had the original Fat Ronaldo, as they call him, the R9 back in the day, who was one of my favorite strikers. But you've always had players with heritage, history, and personality that walk through them Real Madrid doors. And I don't think if you've got that personality in terms of being strong and being robust, you can really wear that Real Madrid shirt, even down to players like Tchouaméni, Carvajal, Carreras, who's playing at left back at the moment. You need to have some form of like, I deserve to be here. I want to be here. I'm going to show you. Otherwise, you're going to suffer. You're going to sink in that ship at Real Madrid. And I think what Mbappe is doing at the moment, he's standing up and being counted for and being that main man that everyone's now got to follow. You've got to step up. Bellingham back from injury. Cool. Arda Güler getting your chance now. Mascherano, the winger, getting his opportunities now. And everyone's feeding off that Mbappe energy. And what he's doing as well, which is so important, so integral for Real Madrid, is that because he's scoring and playing so well, the players like Arda Güler, the players like Mascherano, perfectly to name, the player like Carreras at left back, they're now being able to sort of just blend into Real Madrid, find confidence, get used to the atmosphere, get used to the pressure, because you've got a demon up front who's always scoring so many goals that you're winning games, and the lights ain't on you. You're just chipping away with your assists or your clean sheets or your solid 7 out of 10 performances, but you're growing into that Real Madrid shirt. You're becoming the foundation of that team under Xabi Alonso in his first season, who looks like a very good coach at the moment, and obviously what he's done at Leverkusen. But what Mbappe is doing is he's guiding the way for these youngsters to get minutes, to build confidence, because if Real Madrid were not winning games, it's going to go on to Mbappe and then the coach should have got rid of Ancelotti, this and that. But no, because they're winning, because they're performing, these players are now enjoying their football. And Real Madrid are looking very good. You've got Arda Güler that's come into the team. I didn't really expect him to get as many minutes as he has, but he's becoming a regular starter now. Mascherano has been getting a lot of minutes. The use of the squad from Xabi Alonso has been brilliant. It has been really. Vinicius starts some games. Sometimes it might be Rodrigo. And Mbappe seems the main focal point. Bellingham now back from injury. You've got Camavinga, Tchouaméni. You've got, Alaba. You've got Eder Militao there. You've got Dean Huijsen at centre-back as well. Like, you've got some nice options. I think the right-back issue is the only thing they have at the moment. Carvajal and Trent, they both can't really stay fit. But when you look at this Real Madrid team coming to Anfield, Liverpool better wake up. Because, yes, you beat Aston Villa 2-0 in the Premier League, but it wasn't the greatest performance. Let's be honest. It was a good win. You got your clean sheet. It's perfect for you going into that Real Madrid game because you needed some sort of win and a clean sheet, and you got that. I respect it. But you've got one of the best informed teams in the world coming to you lot on Tuesday. And Mbappe is going to be on demon mode. And I'm very excited to see that battle, by the way, because Mbappe is playing as a number 9 for Real Madrid. And you've got Van Dijk, a very intelligent player, reads the game well, doesn't stand in and make a lot of tackles. He said, right, you come and take me on. And, he'll read the game, drive him out wide. They can't really get past Van Dijk. But I feel like Mbappe, in the form he's in, if he gets in a 1v1 duel with Van Dijk, I can't wait. Because I want, as the excitement, I want to see him run at Van Dijk. Take him on. Make him backpedal. Make him make a decision. Don't let the aura of Van Dijk get in your head, because that video that went viral years ago where Mbappe was running at him when he was playing for the Netherlands, and then Van Dijk just watching Mbappe rather than watching the ball. And then he just, or watching the ball rather than watching Mbappe, one or the other. And he makes that fly tackle and just, shoves him out of play. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, that great tackle there. Mbappe wants his revenge. He's like, I remember that. I remember you made me go viral because I couldn't take you on. But Mbappe right now this season is absolutely on demon mode. His finishes have been great. The timing of the runs has been really good. I think the creativity of Arda Güler in midfield and Jude Bellingham is really helping him get the best out of himself, because I think tactically you've got players in there now that can find him in the final third. Mbappe's not a hold-up striker. He's not a link-up striker as such. He wants to be on the shoulder of the defender, a bit like a Jamie Vardy. Of course, Jamie Vardy's not Mbappe, but the style on the shoulder of the defender, causing chaos. And when you've got players like Mascherano now, you've got Arda Güler, you've got Bellingham, you've got players that can find you with through balls, be creative. Look at the Bellingham assist in the El Clasico. Brilliant. I think Bellingham's a very good player. I think he's a bit overhyped, but I think he's a good player. But that was a great assist. I've got to give him credit for that. The twist and turn and the through ball through. But that is what exactly Mbappe needs and wants. And when you've got players like Güler and Bellingham that are able to do that, teams have then got to watch out for them. Teams are thinking, should I press them? Should we go to them and close down the gaps? And then what that does is then frees up Kylian Mbappe to be one-on-one with defenders or get the space to run in behind. I think what happened with Real Madrid is maybe when they were missing a bit of that creativity in midfield, Luka Modric got a bit older, Toni Kroos was not there, everything was relying on Bellingham, who's not the best creator. So they were missing that sort of a bit of guile with Arda Güler, someone that could just pick that pass, you know, a bit of magic in there, that creative sort of 10 flair. Now they've got that. It's giving teams problems with whether they should stick or twist or go for the gaps and press up or whatever. And I think Real Madrid's players like Vinicius and Mbappe are reaping the benefits of this. So it's going to be so interesting to see what happens at Anfield. But right now, I just have to say that Mbappe is flying. He's on demon mode. The goals keep on coming. And I think it's scary for what he could bring to the later on times of the Champions League, the La Liga race, but then going into the World Cup, where we know that France are going to be one of the top 5 teams there to win it. You know, we always know that they're competitive. We always know that they've got very good players. And when you look at, you know, Elise, you've got Mbappe, you know, you're going to have a chance. You know, Saliba at the back. France are just solid. We know how good they can be with their creative players as well. So, yeah, guys, like this video, subscribe. Will Mbappe score against Liverpool? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. And he carries on this remarkable form. But, guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.